The stuff I'm telling you now, at the time I got arrested in Newport, Oregon, I didn't know as much information about getting rid of the Social Security number legally, and so I didn't bring up too much about the diplomatic immunity, but I basically fought the system with its own laws and the statutes of limitations in Oregon, and I represented myself throughout the case pro se, which means I filed all my own motions and I represented myself in court, which means I got to act on my own behalf as a sovereign, and I did the best I could without proper advice. I didn't have too much advice, to say the least. I didn't know really what I was doing in throughout the process. I learned as I went along, and I had help. I'm fortunate and thankful for the help that I had while I was in the position I was in, and we all knew what was at stake. We all knew that the system is corrupt, and we all knew that the Native people have been done wrong, and we have been oppressed long enough, and the day has come for a time that I can tell you the story that I stood up for myself in the court of Oregon, the county of Lincoln, and I did a 2-day jury trial, representing myself pro se on 5 charges, from unauthorized use of a motor vehicle to grand theft auto of a motor vehicle, and possession of a controlled substance, driving under the influence of intoxicants, and also for false information to a police officer, which involved an international passport and driver license for rescinding the Social Security number and my white name, and these charges that it all stemmed from using the international passport and driver license. It was not recognized in the United States of America, and also in the state of Oregon and the county of Lincoln. And so I was in there for a duration, and I had to go into court twice, and asked to excuse and dismiss the public defender who was appointed to me, and I ended up representing myself on June 26th and 27th with a shot collar on my right leg, and I called a witness, and I cross-examined the police officer and the witnesses that they had against me in jury trial. I picked my own jury, or was in the process of it, and so it was 4 different district attorneys against me, a judge, a woman by the name of Cheryl Bockhart. I had 2 public defenders, one named David T. Beal, one named Richard Scholl, and they're all from Oregon. And the people acquitted me, the jurors acquitted me of 4 out of the charges, the main one being false information to a police officer. And so I'm glad to say that I'm here, not in jail. I was facing at least 5 years minimum, according to the graph that they have, sentencing guidelines that they have set up over there in Oregon. And I know a lot more than I do now than I did then when I was incarcerated. I know a lot more now about the process and the process of law that they use in in the United States. As far as district court, I was in a district court that I was in Lincoln County, Newport, Oregon. So for that part, I was exonerated. I filed charges on a lawsuit with intent to file a lawsuit on the state of Oregon and the sheriff's office, the police officers that arrested me and accused me of all these allegations, and I plan on being acquitted of the last underlying charge, which is driving under the influence of intoxicants, which started out as driving while intoxicated, and so they didn't have sufficient evidence and breathalyzer that they took my blood, they drew my blood, and we got a search warrant over a phone. They did a telephonic search warrant in the process of all this. They accused me of the search warrant was issued on Dine, and the results came back to Emerson Joe, and vice versa. So they had the paperwork backwards throughout the whole process, and that is part of the precedent case when you decide that you don't want to be a part of the system anymore. Your name would rescind also with the social security number. So my name was Emerson Joe with the social security number attached to it, and I didn't have anything with me on me. I didn't lie to them. I didn't withhold any evidence with them to them. I gave them the only card that I had on me, which was a passport with the international passport, driver's license with diplomatic immunity. It identified me as a Lakota Nation, Dine Nation member from Piñon, Arizona, Dinebekeya, and it resulted in this case setting a precedent internationally for Native national sovereign people of Mother Earth, Turtle Island, where we are entitled to the rights given to us by Creator, and I didn't know about getting out of the Social Security system legally by getting out of the system through filing paperwork to the federal offices of the proper way is through the Social Security Administration and the IRS and the local Social Security Administration branch office. I didn't know about those, but now I know that, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys today, that you can do this legally and be entitled to sovereign immunity, and you're still entitled to benefits that they owe you and that you're owed to and you're entitled to, because they owe you a lot of rent's overdue, and you need a way to continue living in the modern society. So if you follow the process and have faith and continue filing the paperwork and following through on the court dates and staying in touch with the people who are in this working for freedom. There's ways you can get a hold of people like myself and other people that are doing the same or have done the same. There's white people, black people, Mexican people, Asian people. We're the last to know about this. Everyone else, they've been knowing about this, have done this. All the lawyers know about this, and all the judges, they know about this, you know. So I'm just here to share with you this information. And again, it's my honor, and I'm glad to share it with you. Thank you for listening to me again. Aho.